This is the Daily Pulse. I'm Travis Zimmerman from Speak My Word Ministries. We're in the concluding day of a 4-day series based on Paul, the Apostle Paul's words in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, as he's wrapping up his letter to them. And there's so much information and teaching in this one verse that I've divided into 4 sections. I'm going to read the first 3, and then we'll, of course, focus on the episode for today. And it's this, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. And this is the Apostle Paul. Therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. And that is, Paul's talking to the Corinthians, what can we draw out of that for ourselves, for our own living, for our own right living in the Lord. You know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. One of the devil's big tactics is to whisper into our ear that what you do doesn't matter. That you're worthless. You have no, in some cases, you have no, he'll whisper, you have no inherent value. Who are you? To kind of go back to the first lesson, we'll let our doubts prey upon us, our fear prey upon us. That we cross our arms and there's nothing I can do. It doesn't really matter. And Paul's saying, that's not, he's saying, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. Anything that we do in this world that doesn't bring God glory will not be of lasting value. And let's camp out there just for a short time. We may have buildings that are built in our honor, the Bryce Jordan Center, or even my father, the Smoke Zimmerman Pinewood Derby track, things that are memorialized. I'm not down on that, not down on it at all. But those things will go away, won't they? Eventually, the Pinewood Derby track will be thrown in the trash. The Bryce Jordan Center will be razed, for my dear alma mater. But these things in this world do not last. And anything that's, more broadly, and again, nothing wrong with the Pinewood Derby track or an athletic center at Penn State, but anything that does not have lasting value, that is not built on Jesus Christ, will pass away. Our desire is to give God glory in all that we do, to build on a lasting foundation, a legacy, as it were, of Christ. So it's not about us, it's about Him. And when we labor for Him in His name, for His glory and His purposes, our labor is not in vain. It brings glory to the Father. So again, let me read the full passage. We'll close out here, but wow. Lord, you are so powerful in the way that you reach us through the ages, as impactful to the Corinthians as it is to us today. Again, closing out. Therefore, my dear brothers, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourself fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, in Jesus' sweet and precious name. Amen.